All right, shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures, and salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. And this is these are the times that Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai spoke of. All right, these are the times that we're living in. All right. That line up with scripture, man. Okay, the things that are happening on the planet, whether they be of violence, whether they be of the awakening of the Israelites, all right, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all of these things are written in the scriptures. Okay, us going into slavery, all these things, man. Okay, now lately, Russia and Venezuela have been in the news, all right, and there's been a constant back and forth about the situation, all right. We know that the prideful Edomites here in Babylon the Great, or America, they're not okay with Russia being in Venezuela, and Trump actually told he actually made a remark and statement saying that Russia needs to get out of Venezuela, but we all know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that this is prophecy. All right, the things happening to America is all prophecy, whether it be the plagues, all right, whether it be the uproars and violence of the people, whether it be Jake getting shot down and being on the news every day. This is all a part of Babylon the Great's fall, because Babylon the Great is home to the wicked, whether it be Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, whether it be the heathen nations, or even 2/3 of our people. This is the establishment of wickedness here in Babylon the Great, or better known as America. All right, but nonetheless, Russia is going to be used as a sword against Babylon the Great by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, not saying that the Most High Yahweh loves Russia, because they're Edomites as well, but they're also going to be used as that final sword and dagger, all right, against Babylon the Great. And all these things happen that we see happening are being orchestrated by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in these last days, because contrary to popular belief, we are still in biblical times. You see? So I got a couple articles pulled up here, and I'm gonna get some scriptures after, Lord willing, and hopefully it's edifying, you know? So as you can see here, I'm on. All you gotta do is go on Google, and this shows you how simple it is to stay on top of current events, and to stay on top of, you know, your interest in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because if you have no interest in the Lord is not going to show you any interest in these last days, man. Okay. So from what you can see, you can just simply go on Google, all right, because the scriptures. You know, let me get that first. All right. Because the scriptures plainly tells us to watch. All right. Okay. What are we going to watch? We're going to watch the signs and prophecies take place, okay? All right, this is bear with me 1 second. And this is what a lot of Israelites are failing to do in these last days. So destruction is going to come upon them unknowingly, man. Okay? Because us who make Great Millstone, we're watchmen. Okay? So what are we watching for? The prophecies written of in the scriptures. This is Isaiah 62:6. I have set watchmen. Who has set? The Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, has set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the children of Israel. All right, you have been ordained to have prophets be raised up for you in the last days, starting from the apostles and elders on down of Great Millstone. All around the world, you see this awakening. These are these watchmen. They're watching for the prophecies, all right, and they're, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, they're filtering this reality in the last days through the scriptures. These are your watchmen. All right, your prophets, your priests, your deacons, your bishops, all right, your teachers, your elders, All right. All these men, your helps. Okay. All these men are affiliated with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see? Isaiah 62:6, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silence. This is why we always go into the scriptures, man, and we always filter this reality. We always filter the things that we see, all right, with the eye salve that has been given us, all right. We always filter through the scriptures, all right. Therefore, the Lord has ordained us to be watchmen, all right. You see? It says, and give him no rest till he establish and until he make Jerusalem a praise in earth. And this is what we're doing. We're doing the Lord's work so that he can come back speedily and destroy the wicked and set us up in our own land. Lord willing, we endure unto the end. But nevertheless, as you go on here, you see in these last days, you're seeing Russian troops in Venezuela are a joke, not a threat. And this is just the pride of Esau. All right. This is the natural interest. This is just the pride of Esau. Because the biblical Edomites, all right, or the worst of the Edomites here in America, they don't understand that prophecy is taking place around them. They don't understand that they're being ordained and set up for destruction. And this is all through the spirit. The reality of this this earth that we live in is controlled by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And the prophets are the only one he reveals his secrets to, it says in I believe it's Amos. And the secrets are the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of these scriptures, all right, and the ability to filter them through the filter this reality through the scriptures. Those are the secrets being revealed to the prophets. Okay, the secrets of knowing that Babylon the Great is America, the secrets of knowing that this place is going to be destroyed. Babylon the Great, it says, is going to be destroyed in the Bible. Now, who people ask, what's Babylon the Great? It's America. Okay, the great whore. All right. Now, this article says Russian troops in Venezuela are a joke, not a threat. And this is the lightness. And this is basically the Edomites taking Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for light work. All right. Taking him for granted. Not knowing that their establishment is getting ready to be, all right, plundered and taken over by Russia, man. All right. Basically, America is going to become isolated in these last days, just like the scripture says. But nevertheless, it says, don't call it the Venezuelan missile crisis. In fact, Russian troops in Venezuela barely rate as a crisis at all. So they're not taking the Russians serious. And this is and that's prophecy. Okay? It says the Trump administration is up in arms over an estimated 100 Russian troops and military advisors that were airlifted into Venezuela in March to support the embattled government of Nicolas Maduro. All right. Russia's got to leave Venezuela. See, and I believe I stated that earlier as a quote or statement from Trump, declared Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. So and this is his Secretary of State under Trump. So they're all in agreement. They're all in the spirit of not wanting Russia to be in Venezuela. But that's scriptural. The Lord is controlling Venezuela, man. So you can't do nothing about Venezuela. Venezuela is going to come down and they're going to be that guard unto all the nations in the last days against you Americans, you Babylonians, because this is Babylon the Great here in America. All right. It says, while National Security Advisor John Bolton warned that other nations shouldn't establish military bases in the Western Hemisphere. All right. And it's just the pride of the devil telling people where they can and cannot go. When they go wherever they want to and bomb and destroy people. The hypocrisy and total madness of the so-called self-proclaimed white man here in Babylon the Great or America. All right. But through the spirit, we know Russia is being orchestrated and being moved by the Most High. Okay? How do we know this? Based off of the scriptures. All right, let's get it. Let's see here. Bear with me 1 second. see here. I believe it's Proverbs 21. There we go. Perfect. Call on Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart, all right, and Trump and Putin and all right, Maduro, all right, all these leaders of these countries are Erdogan, all right. All these are kings of these nations at these times. They don't call them kings, but throughout history, what they've been turned into are presidents, prime ministers. But we know that these are the kings of these countries, all right. And the Lord controls the minds of all these kings. All right, the Lord said that we're a nation of God, king, priests. So the Lord controls the minds of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American man as well. All right, specifically the prophets. All right, ultimately the Lord controls everything in this reality, as I said earlier. But nevertheless, Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is in control of these people, man. The Lord is in control of Trump and Mike Pompeo having this type of mindset towards Russia in these last days. Why is this? Because the Lord is hardening the Edomites here in Babylon the Great, just like he did to Pharaoh. Okay? During that time that Moses was telling Pharaoh, all right, to let my people go, the Lord was in control of Pharaoh's mind so the Lord can destroy Pharaoh. So the Lord hardened his heart, all right, and made him proud, so that he can destroy and show his power upon Pharaoh, just like he's going to do to Esau, Edom in these last days. You self-proclaim white people here in Babylon the Great or America. Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of the water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay, so we know that everything that's being orchestrated is being orchestrated by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The minds of these kings, the minds of Putin wanting to put soldiers down in Venezuela. These are all orchestrations by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Ultimately to what? Destroy America. And the Lord's gonna use Russia to do it, and all the other nations that are behind Russia in these last days. It says, it is understandable that Washington would be unhappy about Moscow's support for a regime it would like to see overthrown. Okay, so the Lord is controlling and keeping the minds of these Americans, all right, in disagreement with Russia. Why is this? So they can eventually bump heads, as the scripture says. Okay, which we're now seeing get way more serious. The Lord is speeding things up, man. All right, it says, or that Venezuela has spent billions on Russian arms, including jet fighters, helicopters, and anti-aircraft missiles. See, they're preparing for war, man. Okay? Or that a pair, if you can't see this, man, you people are completely bugged out. Or that and the Lord is not dealing with you. Or that a pair of Tu-160 nuclear bombers has flown from Western Russia to Venezuela. Do you people, Americans, do not realize and understand how close nuclear destruction is to us now? Okay? It's literally in the Western Hemisphere with us. Down there in Venezuela are nuclear capable, all right, stealth bombers, all right, from the Russians, all right, that are able to travel in and out of the islands into Venezuela. That's right in our backyard, and people are still wicked. Our people are still not taking heed. This is why the Lord said that a lot of our people, majority of 2/3 of them, are going to be casualties here in America. But it says, or that a pair of Tu-160 nuclear bombers has flown from Western Russia to a Venezuelan airfield in a symbolic display of Russian aerial might. So the Lord is controlling the Russians, and he's turning their mind whithersoever he will. You see? It says, and this is the pride of Esau here. This is the pride of the American Babylonian Edomites. But how big a threat to U.S. security is a handful of Russian troops permanently stationed in Venezuela? Not much. And this is their pride, man. Okay, that's why the scripture says, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, you Edomites, you self-proclaimed white people here in America. Your pride is, at the end of the day, in this reality, is going to deceive you. The Lord has you in a trick bag. Why? Because he's using Russia to get ready and to destroy you, man. Okay? All right, let me get this. Spirit of the kings of the Medes. All right, and that's what's taking place on this planet, man. See now, you elite banking families, man. You understand that the prophets are telling you the truth of this reality. That's why they've gone into bunkers. That's why the Lord even ordained and sanctioned you to going down into there. It's a part of the prophecy. You should hide yourself in the in the side of the mountains, inside the holes of the earth. Those are those DUMBs, deep underground military bases that you wicked, rich, wealthy, elite banking families have built to put yourself and hide yourself from the destruction coming and from the Lord. But it's not going to work. Everything is prophecy. Everything in this reality is of the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Jeremiah 51, all right, and 11. It says, make bright the arrows. What are these arrows? These nuclear missiles. I believe I did a lesson a couple days ago about the thermonuclear destructive missiles being the arrows in the scriptures. All right, being a part of biblical prophecy. These thermonuclear destructive missiles. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. This is what's happening. War is being gathered. All right. That's why I just read to you that the Russians are supplying Venezuela with all types of weaponry and nuclear capability. All right. And what are those nuclear bombers going to carry? These arrows of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon. And like I said earlier, Babylon the Great is America. Okay. And what has the Lord done in these last days? What are you doing, Lord? For his device is against Babylon. All these things being perpetuated, all these things being orchestrated. All right. Under the belt, under the nose of the Americans. All right. Whether it be Russia sending troops to Venezuela. And now you have China sending troops to Venezuela. Why? Because they're getting ready to get busy on America, Babylon the Great. And it's just all right, an orchestration by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, for his device is against Babylon. The Most High his will is against this place. To do what, Lord? To destroy it. Okay, so you can't get mad at us because we're prophesying the downfall of this place. We're just reading what has been in the scriptures for millenniums, man. All right, with the understanding, of course, with the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, because it is the vengeance of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It is the vengeance of the Lord. The vengeance of his temple. Okay. So that's what we're seeing being set up in these last days. All right. Total annihilation for you Americans here in Babylon the Great. And it's all being orchestrated by the Most High. You can't blame us. All right. You can't blame us for these things happening. The Lord said they would happen. It says the Trump administration is up in arms over estimated 100 Russian troops and military advisors that were airlifted into Venezuela in March to support the embattled government of Nicolas Maduro. Russia's got to leave Venezuela, declares Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, while National Security Advisor John Bolton warned the other nations shouldn't establish military bases in the Western Hemisphere. Oh, and this is the total and complete hypocrisy of the white man, the self-proclaimed Edomite, or Slakia, the self-proclaimed white man, or Edomite, all right, here in America, hypocrisy. So this man stated that other nations shouldn't establish military bases in the Western Hemisphere over here, or in the Americas, but yeah, you can go put garrisons all over the world and establish you and put down your puppet governments in other nations. Complete hypocrisy, man. That's why the Lord calls these people hypocrites, man. All right. Now we just read what the Lord is doing with Russia, all right, and controlling their mind and supplying these other nations with missiles, anti-aircraft missiles, fighter jets, helicopters. This is why is this? Because the Lord is using Russia as that stronghold, that spear to finally take out Babylon the Great. All right. And the Americans don't see this as a threat, but they don't understand that this is their destruction being orchestrated right in front of their face. All right. Bear with me, Satan. All right. This is Ezekiel. And it's all scriptural, by the way. Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now we know that Russia is in the land. They are the people, all right, that are in the land of these nations in the last days. So they are the people that are being raised up, as prophecy says, and as we can see through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. These are the nations. This is that one nation that's going to lead all the other nations into war against America, Babylon the Great. And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. So the Lord is against, all right, the Russians as well, but he is going to use them, all right, as his sword against Babylon the Great, all right, as well as other nations that are being led by Russia, man. All prophecy. Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. They're getting back into that that Cold War era spirit, all right, where they're ruthless, man. Okay, they're showing their might, as the script, as the article said, man, and stated. Okay, this is all being orchestrated by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because remember in Proverbs 21, the minds of the kings are in the hand of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You see? And what is the Lord going to do? All right, with the control of Russia's mind. What is he going to do? Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. He's going to turn them and put them back into that Cold War era spirit, which we're now seeing. The spirit of war. All right, the spirit of ruthlessness. Verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So this is what's happening, man. The Lord is using Russia to supply different nations with destructive weaponry, man, with protection, with helicopters, jets, nuclear bombs. Prophecy in itself. Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. All right, the gathering of all these nations under Russia. We see this happening. China is getting in cahoots with these Russians, man, according to biblical prophecy. All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Torgamah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Russia supplying Turkey. Russia supplying Venezuela. Russia is working with China. Russia is working with all these other sorts of smaller nations. Why? Because they're going to all gather together under Russia, and they're going to get busy on America, Babylon the Great, in these last days. Verse 7, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. This is why we see this happening. Okay? This is why we see this. It says that would mean putting missiles or long-range bomb. Hold on. Bear with me. It says, where is that? See, this is Satan, man. This never happens when I'm not doing a video, man. It says it's understandable. Slocky, bear with me trying to find that. Look at this, man. Satan, man. I can't even scroll anymore, man. Satan's mad. Satan's it's time for Esau to go down. You can't stop this truth, man. All right, it says, here we go. It is understandable that Washington would be unhappy about Moscow's support. What does that sound like? Be thou a guard unto them. Moscow's support for a regime it would like to see overthrown, or that Venezuela has spent billions on Russian arms, including jet fighters, helicopters, and anti-aircraft missiles, or that a pair of Tu-160 nuclear bombers has flown from Western Russia to a Venezuelan airfield in a symbolic display of Russian aerial might. And that's what we're seeing take place as biblical prophecy goes ahead, man. Ezekiel 38:7. Be thou prepared. Who is the Lord talking to? Magog and Gog, who are the Russians today. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people. against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. All right, so the Lord is orchestrating destruction for anybody in Babylon the Great, man. Okay, and the Lord is also orchestrating, all right, salvation in these last days. Excuse me. All right. Ezekiel 38:10. Thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And that's what's going to eventually happen, and that's what's going to lead Russia, all right, and these other nations that are under Russia into war with America, Babylon the Great. You have all types of other people that aren't Israelites, that don't have the Spirit dealing with them, all right, but they also are controlled by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. These Edomites and these heathens also see that. They also see what's happening. You can go on AMTV, listen to Christopher Green, all right, and that guy Booksham, all right. They see wars formulating. They see it culminating into what's going to be a devastating nuclear destruction, and which is also written in the scriptures. Okay, they see this, but they're carnal and they are trying to prepare Bitcoin and all sorts of alternative monetary systems and wealth and things like that, things that are carnal, man, things that are gonna perish with this place. This place is going to be utterly wasted, man. Okay, by these other nations that are being spearheaded by Russia, man. All prophecy, and the Lord is eventually gonna make these Russians think an evil thought, and they're gonna eventually go to war with America, Babylon the Great. All right, now let me get this. See, Satan never fails. Ezekiel 38. I think Ezekiel 38:10. Slacky. Ezekiel 38:9. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. This place, man, this is as the scripture is known. Let me get it. I'm gonna open up another app. Bear with me 1 second. And this is just on my spirit to do this, because our people need to understand that with Russia doing these things, this is also part of biblical prophecy. This is also part of the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. Let me get this. Oh, that's perfect. I'm going to read right into it. It's the spirit. Ezekiel 38:9. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Who's going to come like a storm, Lord? These Russians. On you Americans in here in the Babylon the Great. Why do you think they're getting so close? Ezekiel 38. The Lord's code, man. Call all you Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Ezekiel 38:9. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. So eventually these Russians are going to get pissed off and vexed, because the Lord is going to control their mind and have them receive evil thoughts, and they're going to play out the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua by going to war with America, Babylon the Great. All right, and whoever's affiliated, all right, with America. Verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. Who is that talking about? America, because this place is the land of unwalled villages. All right, all the states and different kinds of territories are interconnected. There's no borders. You can go from state to state to state without passing any borders. All right, you can just drive into different states. This is America, Babylon the Great, the unwalled villages, the land of unwalled villages. Excuse me. It says, I will go to them that are at rest. These people here in Babylon the Great. All right, complacent, lazy, self-willed, all right, morally unstable, morally corrupt. All these things are synonymous with America, Babylon the Great, and their people and their rulers. Why is this? Because they are at rest, because of all this spoiling they've been doing over the centuries. Now they're at rest here in America, thinking everything's cool. especially our people, man. Especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You think everything is cool, man. Okay? Not knowing that Russia is about to go to war with America. China and Russia are about to go to war with America. That's why the Lord called this place the place where these people are at rest and in complacency. But the Russians are going to come up, all right, because the Lord is orchestrating them too. It says, verse 11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. This is what Putin is going to say. This is what the Lord is going to make him think in the last days. Okay? I will go up to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. All of them dwelling without walls, these borders. There's no borders between these states. And having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods. And this is the melting pot of the world. All the nations are here. And all the nations that are here are going to get spoiled in these last days. By who? By the Russians. And it's being orchestrated by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai according to Proverbs, the 21st chapter. It says, which have gotten cattle and goods. These people dwell in deliciousness here in America, Babylon the Great. But that's about to come to an end, all right, with Russia getting closer and closer, all right, which is all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. And this is what's going to happen, man. These people that have been living deliciously off of the rape, robbery, and murder of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and even the other heathens around the world, man. All right, you Edomites here in Babylon the Great, you are going to be a spoil. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thus saith the Lord. Okay? Verse 14, therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto Gog, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. In that day, when my people of Israel dwelleth safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army. All right, these fighter jets that he supplied Maduro with, these S-500s, S-400s, these nuclear bombers, these missiles, these surface-to-missiles, nuclear weaponry, man. All these things, man. All of these things are, all right, being orchestrated, all right, and being planned, all right, spiritually in this reality by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because the Lord controls the minds of the kings once again. All right, verse 16, and the Lord said it's going to be a mighty army. So this is why you Americans, you Babylonians, all right, this is the end. This is the end for you, self-proclaimed white people here in Babylon the Great. Verse 16, and thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days. We are in the latter days. And I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. So the Lord's going to be sanctified in these Russians in the last days. It's beautiful. Call law, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see? Absolutely beautiful, man. The Lord is making good on his word in these latter days. And the Lord has said that he is not slack like men. Okay? All right? Habakkuk tells you, though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come. All right? It will not tarry, and we're seeing it, man. We're seeing what the Lord is doing with Russia, or Gog and Magog. The Lord is going to use them. He's going to be sanctified in them, all right, by using them to destroy Babylon the Great and all of his allies. All right, and it says this is going to happen in the latter days, and that's currently the present time that we're living in. Verse 17, Ezekiel 38 and 17. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants, the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at the same time when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh, that my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day, what day is that? The day we're in now. There shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. Okay? So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord Yahweh. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. Okay, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain, a great hailstones, fire and brimstone, thermonuclear destruction. All right, destruction from Yahweh Shah himself coming later on. All right, all during this chaos. All right, all types of fiery destruction is coming. All right, for the biblical Edomites and 2/3 of our people and the heathens here in America, Babylon the Great. Brought to you by, ultimately by the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, using these Russians, man, which we're seeing. All right. Verse 23, thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord. All right, and this is being orchestrated. All right, when you read these different articles, all right, you can perceive it through the spirit when you read these, bear with me. Satan, man, once again. When you read these different articles about Russia, bear with me 1 second. When you read these different articles about Russia, all right, and what they're doing in the last days, this is all biblical prophecy. All right, and only the servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the men of great millstone, from the apostles and elders on down, bro. This is the spirit, and this is the understanding we're putting out. Why? Because the Lord doeth nothing but he revealeth his secrets to his servants, the prophets. All right. Russia, all right, is Gog and Magog, spoken of in the scriptures to come in the latter days. All right, to prepare war to go against Babylon the Great. All right, so Lord willing, I was edifying. Call halayim Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Kakudash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures. Salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. All right, Russia is being prepared by the Lord to bring war to America, Babylon the Great. Shalom, Abba, Abba.